There are various sewing tools that you can use to make your sewing process easier and faster. But as a beginner, I wouldn't advise you to rush and get those tools just yet. Advise that you start with the essential ones, then with time you can now grow your collection. Watch this video to the end because I'll be listing out those essential tools that you need to get started sewing immediately. Hi, my name is Seweasy. I am a tailor in Nigeria. Welcome to my channel. The first sewing tool you need to get is a measuring tape. The measuring tape is very important. You need it to take the measurement of the clothes you are going to sew and also to draft out your pattern. So make sure this is the first on your list. Without a measurement, there is nothing to sew. The second thing to add on your list should be a pattern paper. This is the pattern paper that I use. You can get this at any bookstore in your area. It's this brown wrapping paper. It works very well as a pattern paper for me. There are different kinds of papers that you can use to draft your patterns. They have this other one that is white and thicker than this. You can also use your newspaper as your pattern paper. Just get 2 or more pieces of newspaper and join them together. That will do the work. You need a pattern paper as a beginner because you don't want to be cutting directly on your fabric. It's important to draft your pattern first, then transfer it to your fabric to avoid mistakes. If you make mistakes on your fabric, you have to replace it, and that will be more expensive than making the mistake on your pattern paper. The third thing that should be on your list are pencils, markers, and pens. These are the ones that I use. You need this to draft your pattern. So get this. This is the thing you need to draft your pattern, obviously. So that's all I have to say about this. You can't draft your pattern with chalk. You need a marker and you need a pen and a pencil. Another thing that should be on your list is tailor's chalk. You need a tailor's chalk to draft on your fabric, or you want to transfer on your fabric. You want to transfer your pattern on your fabric. You don't want to use your markers to do that, or your pen. It will stain your fabric. So this is why you need to get yourself a tailor's chalk so that you can easily make marks on your fabric and you can clean them off. If you don't want to work with the tailor's chalk, there is this type of marker that is removable with heat. After using it to draft on your fabric, you can use heat to remove it. It's a fabric marker. So try and get that one if you can, but if you can't, get yourself a fabric chalk. It's very affordable. You can start with that, then with time you can now get the fabric marker. This is what I work with. Another thing that should be on your list are rulers. You need rulers to draft your pattern, okay? And these are the type of ruler I have. I have this long one and I also have this short one. When you use this short one, this means that you have to draw your long lines bit by bit and it can take up time. So this is why I got this long one. But if you can't access this long one, it's also okay to get this. This will get the job done. And you also need a curved ruler, okay? I also have this pattern master that I work with. This pattern master and this curve ruler. If you can't get this yet, just get this. This will help you draw your curves around your armhole, your hip curve, and all those sides that means curves. This will make it easier than drawing it with your hand. So another thing that should be on your list is a scissors. You need to get 2 of them, one that you use to cut on your pattern paper and the other one on your fabric. Please make sure that you don't use the scissors that you use on your fabric to cut on your pattern paper. This will just blunt it. Unless you don't mind replacing your scissors every other day, then get 2 separate scissors, one for your pattern and one for your fabric. And another thing to put in mind when getting your fabric scissors is this shape. Make sure the scissors you get has this shape. It will make cutting for you easier. Okay, to get your scissors with this shape for your fabric. You also need to add needles on your list. So you need to get yourself a hand needle and a sewing machine needle. You need hand needle to sew in your buttons and your hooks, okay? And there are some parts of clothes that your sewing machine might not be able to sew. You need a hand needle to do the job, and you need your sewing machine needle. There are different types and sizes of this sewing machine needle. The machine you are working with and the type of fabric you are working on will determine the one you will get. Another thing you should get is a thread. These are few of the threads I have. When getting your threads, make sure that it matches the color of the fabric you are working with. You don't want to use a white thread to sew a pink fabric, or use a pink thread to sew on a white fabric. If you are sewing a white fabric, get yourself a white thread so that everything will blend and look more professional. You should also add seam rippers and razors on your list. You need seam rippers and razor blades to loosen your clothes when there is need for that, okay? Maybe you make a mistake and you want to loosen that part. That is where you use your seam ripper and your razor blade. For me personally, I prefer using my razor blade. You can also use a seam ripper, it's safer to use, okay? So it just depends on you. Both of them are efficient. You also need to add pins to your list. You need pins to hold your pattern paper down on your fabric while transferring it to it so that it will not be moving about. So these are the types of pins that you need to get yourself. And you also need to get yourself this type of pin. If you want to pass your rope through a hole, you need to use this to make it easier for you. Please ignore the noise on the background if you are hearing it. I have neighbors and they are noisy. You need to get buttons and hooks. Of course, when you are done sewing your clothes, you need to attach either button or hooks depending on what you need. This is what I mean by buttons and hook. This hook and this button, depending on the size you want, can work. This is what I have. You need to get zippers. There are different types and sizes of zippers depending on what you are working on. We have these short ones for your skirt and your trousers, and you have this long ones, this long one for your dresses. You also have the medium one that you can attach to your half length tops. Okay, so get them, you will need them. Another thing that you must have on your list is a zipper foot. As a beginner, make sure that the zipper foot is one of the first features that you get for your sewing machine. If you are lucky, it might come with your sewing machine. If it doesn't, then you might have to go and buy one for yourself. But trust me, it's very important. It will make fixing your zippers very easy and faster. I wish I knew about this when I first started sewing. I couldn't have stressed myself as much as I did when sewing. So this is a zipper foot. This one is for the blackhead sewing machine. There is another type that is for the industrial sewing machine and the tabletop sewing machine. So the type you get is dependent on the type of sewing machine that you are working with. But make sure that you get yourself a zipper foot. You need to get a hemming gun. This will make hemming your clothes faster and easier, and it will help you achieve that neat finish. Just trust me, start using this when hemming and you are going to notice a huge difference. You need a sewing machine. You need to have a sewing machine. If you don't already have a sewing machine, then you need to get yourself a sewing machine. It will make sewing faster for you. Unless you want to be sewing with your hand, which will take a lot of time and stress you a lot. Advise that you get yourself a sewing machine if you don't already have one. The last but not the least on our list is an iron. If you want your clothes to come out looking neat and professionally made, then you need to get yourself a steam iron. If you do not have a steam iron, you can use your normal iron with a spray bottle. It will still get the work done, okay? But make sure you get an iron. It will make a huge difference on the outcome of your clothing. this is the end of this video. If you find this video helpful, please like, share, comment and subscribe. It will mean a lot to me. Thank you for watching my video.